Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
Happy New Year. Welcome to Lead Every Day. Excited about a brand new year. We just took a little break last week. I'm Randy Gravitt.
I'm Mark Miller.
And Happy New Year, buddy.
Thank you.
I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
We did.
You guys doing okay?
It was great. Spent some time with family and time with friends, and just thankful. Lots to be thankful for.
Yeah, there really is. I think I ate too much. Probably watched a little bit too much football, and there's more football to watch. So
yeah, did you get your TV fixed?
Well, we got a little dispute going on with the. I say we do. The cable company has a dispute going on with the content provider, so it's a mess. We'll get it.
If you need to come over and watch the game,
I may need to come over and watch the game. I don't know. We're having trouble with one of the networks. So yeah, that's kind of thrown us for a loop. And since we were on last week, you and I had a chance to spend a couple of weeks with our wives in New Zealand, which was crazy.
It was epic.
It was totally epic.
epic.
Are you recovered from the 18? I think it was 18 time zones. So that was
18
wild.
time zones and a day. So I
And a
tell
day.
Folks, time travel is always
and a
confused
hemisphere,
me.
right? We went down.
Yeah,
it was
crazy. It's good.
It was totally cool. We got a little bit of summer splash there. 105 degrees.
105 in Sydney.
And then we got back home and it was cold.
And
So
the first time our wives had done a trek, we did 40 miles.
we did a 40-mile hike over 3-4 days, and that was really it pushed me for sure. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So for those of you who are listening, you may be actually watching on YouTube. You may be actually just having your New Year's Day. You might hear this later, but Happy New Year to all of you out there. We're thinking about some of the things for the new year. We created a plan together a couple of weeks ago. All you guys did. Hopefully, if you missed any of those episodes, we started with how to become a better leader and just gave you several days of content there and talked about creating a plan that would lead us into this new year. And I think that's huge. But I know all these people that make New Year's resolutions. They're talking about resolutions, and I've been thinking a lot about that. And I think there's a difference in having a resolution and having resolve. So many times I've made resolutions, but I didn't have any resolve. And the resolutions, they last about a week or till the cheesecake comes by this afternoon for the game, whatever, right. I don't know. But if you don't have any resolve, that seems to be a problem. So I've got some areas in my life this year where I've got some new resolve, and I don't know about you, but I'm fired up about it. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about this year. I mean, we've challenged each other. We've challenged our audience to make 2024 your best year ever. And that's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, me too. Several people have actually downloaded the course. I think that's still available if you've 21 days to your best year ever. We got a little course there to help you do that. So, let's jump in here. I think there's some things I learned over the holidays. I paid attention to. We're on the hike, and then I came back, and I got a couple of things that I want to share that I think will help us really focus on the year in a new way. Maybe you got some stuff that you've been thinking about. One of the things that hit me, I had a leader just a couple of weeks ago who was going to a Christmas party and said to me, "I've got to go and make an appearance at this party." And I've been thinking about that. It got me to thinking there's a difference in an appearance and your presence. I think so many times, if I'm not careful, I'll just be making appearances at things, and I really won't be where I am. So one of the things I really want to try to do this year at work, with my family, wherever I am, is I want to make sure that I'm not just making an appearance, that I really am trying to be where I am. That was one of the things that jumped out at me.
Yeah, let me add to that. I had a fascinating conversation with Justin, my oldest son, not too long ago, and he asked me, he said, "Dad, what are the things a leader cannot delegate?"
Yeah.
Man, I love that question.
Yeah, that's a great
Maybe
question.
there'll be a whole episode on that in
awesome.
the future. But one of the things we talked about was presence.
Yeah.
You really can't delegate your presence, your authentic, genuine presence. And so I appreciate that word as we enter the new year.
Yeah, I was talking to another leader, and they had this. They were at an event with a big time CEO leader, and one of the things they said, this is a really famous leader, and this person said, the thing that struck them the most about this person is they were just there. They didn't have their phone with them. They weren't checking it all night. They were with the people. They were talking to people, looking them in the eye. They were present. Exactly what you're talking about. So that might be a word for anybody who's listening out there to make sure you are where you are this year. I think that's good. But as you think about just this new year, one of the things you mentioned was our hike, and that stretched me. I mean, I know you're a trekker and a climber and all this. My wife and I, it pushed us to do that. We all made it, which was cool. But it was a reminder that we can do more than we think we can. I mean, we're up on the. It really was pretty crazy. We're up on the McKinnon Pass there, looking out these glaciers around. Even though it was summertime, we had snow on the mountains around us, and that was pretty cool to be up there on the top of that summit. But it's just a good reminder that when we stretch ourselves, we actually are able to do some things. So you have anything on your docket this year? Some places you're trying to stretch?
Well, let me back up and say I would encourage all of you, even though you've probably already created your plan. It's a living, breathing organism, right? Your plan. It's not static. It's not cast in stone. You need to work with it throughout the year. So I would say, even at this early juncture, to go back and look and say, do I have something in my plan that's going to challenge me? And again, Justin, my oldest son, and I have been for decades trying to be sure we've got something in our plans that's going to challenge us. And it may not be physical. One of the challenges that you and I have embraced for the new year is we're going to do a book together.
Yep.
And we're actually going to finish draft 0 in the next 5 months.
I know, it's crazy.
Now, it's content we've been working on for 25 years. So it's not like we're starting from scratch.
That's right.
But to do
it's a pretty aggressive
word book in 5 months, that's going to challenge us. That's going to stretch us.
With everything else we have.
With everything else we've got going on.
Exactly.
So what in your plan is going to stretch you in 2024? You'll be better for it.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm thinking about, as you're listening, you may have a revenue goal for the year, and that's great. And you can just continue to rock along like you have been. A lot of people, like, if we have double-digit growth, we hear people say that all the time, or if we can grow 5%, whatever. What if you look at that number and you said, what if we doubled that? What would we have to do to be able to double our projection or something? And typically, I heard somebody say one time, you can do 10 times more than you think, but it's you got to think it. It's a different level of thinking. It's not even really that much different behavior. So maybe there's a revenue goal. Maybe for us, we're thinking about a reach goal. One of the things we want to do is try to help as many leaders as we can. That's one of the things you can do to help us, is you share and hit the like button and comment and tell your friends about Lead Every Day. That helps us. But you may be thinking about who you're trying to reach and who you're trying to help. That'd be awesome. But there's other areas that people are thinking about. Fitness, we're going to talk about that here in a few days. And maybe you have financial goals, all those kind of things. I would just encourage you to stretch yourself in any of those areas like Mark's talking about. I think that can be a powerful thing. So for that leader who's out there and they have this typical list of New Year's resolutions, what are some things that we can do to make sure that we don't just let that wane? And any thoughts there for a person who's...
Well, I mean, it's different for different folks. And you and I have talked about this. I have been tinkering with my approach to personal plan execution for decades, because I'm always trying to figure out how do I execute better.
Yeah.
For me, there's some magic in the daily discipline of plan review.
Yeah.
And you're the one that challenged me, because several years ago I had a rather lengthy plan, and I was saying it's so cumbersome, it's so awkward.
It's hard to review a big plan every day.
You suggested that I approach it like an NFL coach who has a playbook that's probably this thick if you printed it out.
I noticed them this weekend. They're standing.
They got big playbooks, but on the sidelines they've got a card.
That's right.
Maybe it's front and back,
That's
but
right.
they've kind of got a summary. And so for years now, regardless of how detailed my plan may actually be, I create a one-page summary. And what I found for me is the more I review my plan, the better I am at executing against the plan. So maybe that's an idea for some of you.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a daily plan review.
Yeah, you've also done a good job through the years of, I know at one point you put it as a screensaver.
Yeah, I did a mind map.
You did a mind map. Put it on your, maybe we talk about that one day, but you put it on your screensaver.
I
there.
even did a a little business card size
That you could
mind
keep
map
in
that I
your-
laminated and
keep
kept it in my pocket.
or your wallet or whatever. But
Yeah,
I think
any number of ways.
I think one of the things we can do is create a plan. We've talked about that, but create a plan and keep it fresh, top of mind. You can look at it all the time. And then as you look at any of these areas that you're working on, I encourage you to stretch yourself, push yourself. We didn't think we could walk 40 miles. I wasn't sure. Actually, the 40 miles was one thing, but the 18 time zones might have been just as hard. It took me a few days to get ready, but we're ready to roll into a new year here. I hope you are as well. Today, just remind you one more time, create that plan, work that plan, but be where you are. Your presence really is way more important than an appearance this year. Let's do everything we can to make this our best year ever. I think those are some ideas. Hopefully today you'll spend some time with your what's on the horizon, and as you do, you'll be able to come up with a plan that's going to help you be the best leader you can be. Remember, the best leaders lead every day. Join us tomorrow. We're gonna dive into some of the people around you, what it takes to improve your team's performance this year, and I think that'll be really helpful. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.